Google Flow just dropped a dedicated tool to create completely consistent characters, and before I show you how it works, I need to tell you something that happened halfway through my testing that completely changed how I use this. Stick around, because that moment is the difference between characters that look consistent and characters that actually are. To start, go to the left panel and click Characters. You'll see three options: Create from Template, Prompt 1, or Upload or Import. The simplest option is Templates. When you select one, it automatically generates a defined character prompt. I'm using the fantastical template here. Behind the scenes, it's processed by Gemini, which then produces a full prompt ready for Imagen 4 Pro or Imagen 4. If you don't like the result, you can click the template again to regenerate it. Each click creates a new version with different wording and style, while keeping the same character rang like rolling a dice each time, which makes it feel unpredictable and engaging. The limitation is that the template library is small, and presets can't be directly edited. However, you can manually adjust the generated text yourself before running the final generation. Now, if you'd rather build a character completely from zero, you go about it the same way you'd generate any image inside Nano Banana. Head into the prompt field, select Nano Banana Pro or Nano Banana 2 if you prefer, totally your call. And here's my prompt, it's clean and direct. A man in his mid to late 40s with a strong presence. He has a calm, mature facial expression and is portrayed realistically. Once the prompt feels right, hit Run. The moment you click Run, the interface moves you forward to the next screen. This is where the character building gets more layered. You'll be assigning a voice and filling in some metadata. But before any of that, you actually have the option to refine the reference image first. If the first result isn't quite what you were going for, you can drop back into the prompt. There's a field right there that asks, what do you want to change? And at the top of the screen, you've got Show History, which lets you track every generation you've run and compare them side by side. Every time you iterate, there's a small dopamine release, a fresh reveal, a new possibility opening up. Getting that first reference locked in solid is genuinely critical, because just below the main reference image, there's a slot to add a second one. I'm going to hit that plus button. Clicking it moves you to a new screen where Flow hands you a pre-built template designed specifically to capture different angles of your subject. The prompting is minimal here. You really just need to fill in one field that says describe the body and outfit. That's it. I'm keeping it clean. He's wearing a fitted dark gray polo shirt, tailored chinos, and clean leather sneakers. I'm staying with Nano Banana 2. Once you run this, the system takes your main reference image as the anchor and generates multiple perspectives of that same subject, front, side, different angles. When the output comes back, you've got the same person rendered from different viewpoints. If the result isn't working, hover over the image, go to the top, and discard it. Then slot in a new description and run it again for a different take. One thing to be clear about, you cannot stack up as many reference images as you want. The system caps you at 2, the original image you generated first, and the multi-angle second one. That's the hard limit. Alright, so that covers the first phase, building out the visual references. Now, over on the left side, it's time to assign a voice to your character. Hit Select a Voice, and a new panel slides open showing you a full library of voice templates. On the right side of each option, there's a play button so you can preview before committing.
We're introducing a new feature where I can read this aloud in a natural, human-like voice.
If that lands for you and you want to lock it in, scroll down and click Add to Character. Done. But here's where it gets more interesting. At the top of that same panel, there's an option labeled Create New Voice. Click it, and a new window opens up. Your starting point is still picking one of the available base voice templates, and you preview them the same way.
We're introducing a new feature.
That's a male voice, not quite what I'm after. Let me audition another.
We're introducing a new feature.
That one works. I'll go with it. Now, I already know the question that's forming in your head, and no, you cannot bring in an external audio file to clone a voice. The templates are the only raw material available. But what Create New Voice actually lets you do is layer on top of that base. You assign a name, then write a description of the vocal quality you want, and the model processes that description against the base voice and outputs something that sounds meaningfully different from the original template. For the name, I'm going with Maria. The description: confident, deep, and well-paced. Then you drop in a sampled dialogue line. This is the phrase the model will use to render and let you audition the voice. You might recognize that one. You might recognize that one. Once the sample is in, hit the generation icon at the bottom of the voice panel. The system processes your description, the base voice, and the sample line together. Let's hear what comes out.
The AI now feels like a real human. Incredible, right?
If it doesn't match what you want, simply go back to the description field and update the wording. Only after making a change will the Regenerate button unlock again. That works for me. Clicking Save New Voice adds it to your available voice list. Quick heads up though, once a voice is saved, it's set. You can play it, you can delete it, but you cannot go back in and edit it. It's locked. That's genuinely something I hope gets improved in a future update, because the flexibility just isn't there yet. When you're satisfied, click Add to Character. The assigned voice then appears on the left side of the screen where you can preview it, swap it out, or remove it entirely. Now it's time to give the character a name. I always recommend doing this. Don't leave it blank. I'm naming him Mamria to match the voice I just created. Below the name field, you'll find the optional character info section. This one deserves your full attention, because this is precisely where narrative transportation as a psychological principle starts doing real work. The description you write here sets the foundational personality, the quirks, the tendencies, the behavioral patterns of your character. And this data feeds directly into the Flow Agent tool. Before the agent uses your character in any new generation, it reads this profile. The practical result: you don't have to re-explain how your character behaves in every single prompt you write. The personality travels with the character. That's the whole architecture of this system. I'm going to write a description, we won't lean heavily on it today, but this is how I see Mamria as a character. So now we've got the visuals, the voice, and the personality profile. Hit Done at the top and your character is live. It'll appear in all media on your main dashboard and in the Characters tab alongside any others you've built. When you hover over any generation in your workspace, you get options. Favorite it, delete it, copy it, cut it, or push it straight into the prompt. Clicking Add to Prompt drops it right into your text field. Alternatively, type @ in the prompt field, and search by name type Mamria, and the character appears instantly. Or navigate to the Characters tab and pull it from there. Once selected, the character functions as an ingredient inside your prompt. Hover over the character icon, and it shows you exactly what's loaded. 2 reference images and an active voice profile. Inside the new character panel, there are 2 key options: Upload and Add from Project. Upload lets you bring in an image directly from your device. Once uploaded, it becomes your main reference, and you continue the usual workflow, adding angles, voice, and a description. Add from Project lets you select an image from a previous project and use it as your starting reference in the current one, then continue building the character as normal. In short, both options start with a reference image. The only difference is where it comes from. It's important to understand how Flow organizes projects. Anything you create inside a project stays within that project. If you're working in a new project and want to bring in a character, you can type @ in the prompt to access it directly. However, when you check the Characters tab, the character may not appear there because it still belongs to its original project. To use it, you need to go to the project where it was created and select it from there. Once selected, it becomes available in your current project. In short, access is project-based, not account-wide. Time to run a practical test. The workflow here is exactly the same as using any other ingredient inside the system. For the first generation, I place Mamria in a professional work environment that matches his mature, confident personality. Type @ select Mamria, and run it. For the second generation, I place Mamria in a relaxed home setting to see how well the character holds up in a completely different context. Select the character and run it. The results are strong. Mamria stays consistent across both scenes, maintaining the same identity and appearance despite the change in environment. Once the character is set up properly, you can place them in different situations while keeping a consistent look throughout your generations. Let's take this into video. I select the video ingredients 16:9 aspect ratio, 8 seconds, running on the Omni Flash. The scene is a medium close-up of Mamria sitting in a modern luxury office, holding a book titled The Age of AI. I'm also adding a reference image of the book as an ingredient, so the model knows exactly which book we're referring to rather than interpreting it on its own. The spoken line in the video: "Artificial intelligence is changing the world faster than most people realize. Run it." Before we watch, let's hear the voice one more time.
Now feels like a real human. Incredible, right?
Now the video output.
Artificial intelligence is changing the world faster than most people realize.
Consistent. The voice holds up, and the character remains recognizable and coherent within the scene. Now I want to push the character consistency test further, a full multi-shot sequence. 4 distinct shots of Ma Maria inside a modern luxury high-rise hotel lobby. A close-up to open, then a smooth tracking shot moving through the space, a stable full-body shot, and finally an overhead perspective. 8 seconds total. Running it now, the output comes back with the close-up, the tracking shot, the full body, the overhead, all in sequence. The consistency across shots is genuinely holding up well. Now, this is a controlled scenario, a character moving through an hotel setting. Push it into something more physically complex, like an action sequence, and you'll likely start to see the edges of what the system can maintain. But for standard narrative setups, the results are legitimately strong. To close things out, the avatar feature. Basically, you create it through the Gemini mobile app. It walks you through a quick setup where you record a short selfie video and read a few numbers out loud. That's what the system uses to build your visual and voice profile. A couple of things you should know. First, it's still in beta, so it might not be available everywhere, or it can behave a bit differently depending on your region. And second, it's strictly meant for your own identity. It's not for copying or recreating other people. Once it's set up, you don't need to redo anything. In Flow, you just type @me in your prompt, and your avatar gets inserted automatically as the character. That's pretty much it. Simple setup, then you can reuse it whenever you want without being on camera. It's genuinely exciting to watch Gemini and Flow develop in this direction, building an infrastructure where creators can construct persistent, repeatable characters with layered visual identity, a consistent voice, and a defined personality that travels with them from generation to generation. Alright, that's a wrap. If this gave you something useful, hit like, subscribe, and drop a comment below. Thanks for watching, I'll see you in the next one.